It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag Fluff-a-torium. 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 Show.
Good morning. Boo's been given the day off from her New York detective agency that she works for part-time. So she's here with us again this morning, and she's just going to take this little treat from me and then she's going to go back to work. She's on a very important case, something about moles and bacon. There we go. Woof, off we go. Woof. So today, folks, in case you don't follow me on social media, today is birthday Boxing Day. I'm sure most people who do follow me on social media are, that's just my watch telling me that my heart rate is high. Bring it down.
Breathe, Gillian. Breathe, Gillian.
Yeah, for those of you that do follow me on social media, you'll know that I do quite like it when it's my birthday, and I like to be made.
Was it your birthday?
Yes.
Did you mention that?
Yes. Anyway, I had the most fabulous day. I have to say, we did so many lovely things. It was really nice. I thought it was going to be awful because my kids weren't at home and couldn't visit. But we did lots of lovely things. But I still can't get over the fact that when I went into Waitrose, which is our local supermarket, they didn't know it was my birthday, but a lady approached me and said that she'd been following me on social media. And I reckon about 2 years ago, I posted a picture of, you know, one of those really nice olive oils in a tin that's just got a splendid tin, but it's really super pricey and you can't afford it. I think I must have put that on my Instagram stories. Anyway, yesterday I'm in the supermarket, just browsing, looking at things I probably was, you know, like Easter eggs and stuff. Actually, the only reason I'd gone in was to buy makeup remover because I'd run out. Boring. But anyway, while I was in there, I thought I'll get some lunchy treats. Was looking at Easter eggs. She comes over, Waitrose uniform, mask, we're all wearing masks obviously. Sorry to interrupt you. I know that you really like this olive oil and we would like to gift it to you today. And I was like, what? Sorry? Anyway, I mean, I know they do that because my daughter used to work for Waitrose and I know they do like these random acts of kindness. Anyway, so I got this bottle of olive oil. I said, it's my birthday as well, which she didn't know. So there we go. So that's my main sort of, well, not highlight from yesterday, but I still can't quite get over it. It was very odd, but very, very lovely. Anyway, I had a lovely day. It's all on social media if you want to watch it. It's on my Instagram stories. Now, we're here, however, despite all of that, to make the Speedy Beady Jewellery Kit, my new kit. I spent ages putting this kit together. It's got a packet here. It comes in a packet. But actually, you don't really need to see the packet. You need to see the contents, and that's what I'm going to show you in a minute. I spent ages putting this together because it all started last summer during lockdown. I was in the garden, and obviously we do sell the Toho seed beads and beading elastic and little mini pom-poms and so on. And I made a few bits and bobs. And then I did do a live tutorial last year from my conservatory in about May or something. And everyone loved it, and I was like, oh, I must do a kit. Anyway, it's taken me this long, but I really wanted to make it like a good one with some really nice bits in it. So I have spent ages putting together the right colours, the right textures, and then obviously these letter beads, which are hugely popular at the moment, and the little heart beads, which are very popular at the moment. And then, but I also wanted to have, you know, some little extra dimensions, some nice charms. So there's some lovely little charms included as well. And then the other thing that's gone massively bonkers at the moment is the daisy beading daisies. Okay, so lots of daisy necklaces around, lots of daisy bracelets around, and so on. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. This is a little bracelet. I've been wearing this for a few weeks now, and it stood the test of time, because anyone that knows me knows that I don't really take jewellery off. I just wear it. I wear it in the shower, I wear it in the bath, I just wear it. I have no time for taking it on and off. So if anyone ever wants to steal my jewellery, they'd have to actually steal it from me personally, because it's always on me. So anyway, so that stood the test of time. So in the kit there is loads, okay, loads. You can make lots and lots of different things, but at the very least you can make a necklace, an anklet, a bracelet. So I've got that in a certain place on the table, put it back in the same place, and then several of these really cute little daisy rings. And then you will have more left over to make more. Okay, so there's quite a lot in it. There's so much in it. So what was that from? I never knew there was so much in it. That was an advert for something, wasn't it?
No
Back
idea.
in the day.
No idea
He
whatsoever.
doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No idea.
Nothing new there. Okay, have we put the money in the meter this week, Christopher? Is everyone able to see us?
I certainly hope so. And if anybody would like to come back in their messaging capacity and say it's all working tickety-boo, then I'd really appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good. Am I lip synced? Can you hear me? Where are you all watching from? Oh, has everyone remembered that the hour went back? Yeah, we've only had about 6 hours. Oh, no, forward. Sorry, spring forward. The hour went forward. Oh, God. Don't rely on me to
fall back, just to use the American.
Is that what the
vernacular.
Americans say? Okay. I'm not quite sure where this happens around the world, but it happens in the UK, and we go on to British summertime. So we're now on British summertime, which is this is my absolute favourite time of year, partly because it's my birthday, but now we're on the up, the days get longer, love that. So yeah, so we only had about 6 hours sleep last night, which wasn't ideal, but you know, it's fine. Bit weary this morning. Anyway, I hope you're all up, and I hope there hasn't been too much confusion if you're all somewhere else. Like, would you know that our clocks have gone back? I'm guessing
That's a good point.
Yeah, like if you're
Never
in
thought of
Canada
that.
or South Africa, where I know a lot of people watch us from, would you know? Or are they going to tune in an hour? I did have the countdown timer on Instagram, but does that know? Maybe it does. Anyway, yes, it must do. All right, let's move swiftly on, shall we? So there's lots of little tiny things to show you here. But to start with, I want to start by showing you what is in the kit. It's probably easiest if we just go to, rather than looking at me, let's look at what's actually in the kit, which I've got on the table in front of me. Christopher, are you listening?
No, I
Please?
wasn't listening. What do you want to do?
Wasn't listening.
What do you want to do?
Oh, also, Chris baked his first ever cake yesterday. First ever cake. How old are you, Christopher? No, don't tell us. Anyway, it was very good. It was a very good cake. I requested double ginger and apple, and it came out brilliantly. And then first time baker Christopher, what did you say? You had a bit of a light bulb moment, didn't you?
Cake is mainly made of sugar and butter.
This is true. And sometimes a bit of flour as well.
But mainly sugar,
butter and sugar.
butter.
It was a bit
Those
of
are
a
the two
revelation to
things.
him. It's really quite good that you know what's in cake now when you eat it, if you ever eat it. Anyway, let's get back onto subject here. So if we can cut to the overhead shot, please, darling. The white
Yes,
one.
milady.
Please. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to just talk you through what actually comes in the kit. Right, first of all, I've got my list here actually, so don't forget. So you do get 3 whole packets of the Toho seed beads. Okay, so you get the yellow, the green and the turquoise. And the reason for that is that I have thought long and hard about the overall colour of the finished pieces. So these three colours are then complemented by more sort of pinky, reddy, orangey colours. So you get 3 packets of those, 3 tubes of those. Then you get a whole pack of these multicoloured heart beads. You get a whole pack of these, sorry Instagrammers, you probably can't see, can you? A whole pack of these and a whole pack of these. Okay, so you get lots and lots of letters to make whichever words you want to make. You don't have to use the words I've made, obviously. Then you get a whole roll of beading elastic, and this is 5 meters long, so there's loads of beading elastic there. You get a whole packet of jump rings, which are these here. I don't know if I've actually got, oh yes, I have got a packet. Here we go. Get a whole packet of these jump rings here. Now these really are only used to hang the charms. You don't really need that many of these, but here, for example, where I've hung a charm off the anklet, that's where we're going to be using a jump ring, if you can see that. Okay. You also get a whole packet of these brilliant Beadalon beading needles. Now these are collapsible eye needles. These are really great. So the way these work is they just collapse down really fine, like this. And they're also bendy. So they're really good. I found them to be really good. Anyway, so it includes a whole packet of those as well. And then there's all manner of different things that are included here. So you get 10 of these, 2 pom-poms, 2 pom-poms. You get a polka dotted cowrie shell to make the anklet with. You get 1 each of these gorgeous charms. There's a watermelon, pineapple, there's cherry and a flower. Get 2 each of the neon tassels. I've mentioned those already. And then you get 50 of these. I can never remember what they're called. What are they called?
Beads.
Katsuki disc beads.
Oh.
Okay, I know there's a special name for those. Pack of those. And then you get a smaller amount of these little black and white striped beads, and then a smaller amount of these little pink beads, just to use as accents here and there. So really quite a lot in there, and a lot for you to get going with. And you can see how I've used a combination, let me just swing that round, of all these different things. Now obviously you can do your own thing here, and you can string them and add them and bead them as you wish. There's just a few sort of key things that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do the daisy. That's one of the things, okay? I'm going to show you how to start the anklet with the cowrie shell, because that works slightly differently, okay? And I'm just going to talk to you generally about getting words the right way round and hanging charms off and so on, and that kind of thing as well. So let's start with talking about this beading elastic. Now in the past I found this beading elastic has sometimes stretched a bit, but they seem to have changed it, and it's now a lot less stretchy. And the case in point here is that I've been wearing this for quite a number of weeks now, and it hasn't stretched at all actually, and it's remained completely as I made it, okay? And obviously, oops, and when I put it on my wrist, obviously those daisies sit nicely, okay? So I'm going to talk you through making one of these daisies, but first of all I just want to talk to you about how I use the beading elastic. All right, so whenever I make anything, I always start with a piece of elastic that's much longer than you need the finished thing to end up. So if I'm making just a ring, I would start with a piece that's about 20 centimetres long. If I'm making the necklace, I'd start with something that's nearly 1 metre long. It's probably about 75 centimetres, 80 centimetres long. Just because you need loads of elastic at the end where there's no beads, so they don't all slide off. And it just makes the whole process a lot easier. Now you've got 5 meters on here, so you should have plenty to do that. I've got a piece threaded up here, slightly over 20 centimeters maybe. But I just want to show you first of all the most important thing when you start off doing any of this, and that's adding a stopper bead. I think when I showed you this last May, I was using like a clothes peg or something to hold the end to stop the beads coming off. You can knot it, okay, let me just show you. You can tie a knot, but when you pull it really tight, it just sort of goes very flat and it doesn't really stop the beads from falling off, so it's kind of pointless. So really we're going to use, what we really need to use is an actual bead to stop the other beads from falling off. So let's just go through that process first. If you can go to the overhead again, please, my love. Thank you. All right, so I've got a little striped bead here, and this is what I'm going to use as my stopper bead. And I've threaded up my my beading elastic through my beady needle, my Beadalon collapsible needle. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to thread through this one bead, which is going to be my stopper bead. You don't take it right to the end, just sit it up here for a minute, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bead round it again. I'm going to go through the middle of it again, all right? Now, we have got a close-up camera. Let me just get it through the middle first, all right? Then if we can go to the close-up camera, let's see what happens. Oh my gracious.
I've just got to try and focus it.
Okay.
It's very close.
There we are. Okay, so I've gone through that again, all right? And then I'm just going to pull that tight. I'll try and keep, oh, I don't know, it's really difficult to do it without moving. I'll try and keep it as, there we go. All right, we're there. So that, my friends, is a stopper bead, okay? Now, if I just give that a little twiddle round, you can see there's the elastic, okay, sitting around the side of it. Now, I can slide that now up and down my beading elastic. So I'm just going to slide it down a little bit to about there. Now, if you find that it's sliding off or it's sliding too much, what you can do is you can go through that process again. So I can stick the needle back through, okay, like this, and pull it through again. Is this going to work? I actually can't see what I've done. I'm trying to keep it in one place and it's not the easiest thing. No, I don't think I have done that. Anyway, oh yeah, no, maybe I have. Maybe I have. Yes, I have. Oh, ye of little faith, Gillian. All right, are we still there? Are we still in focus? Which way am I going, up or down? There we go. There we go. All right. So you can see I've actually done that twice now. So there's my stopper bead, and actually that's going to really stop it from moving around, and it's going to stop anything else from falling off. All right. I've got this little pin here because that shows me exactly where the centre of the camera shot is, if you're wondering what that's sitting there for. Okay, and then you'll also notice that I'm working onto some, it's actually the back of one of our new project bags. It's just a piece of cotton, which I do recommend. I recommend working on something that's light coloured. A tray is good, a plate is good, but a plate can be quite shiny. So something that's going to stop your beads from sort of really moving around too much and falling off and rolling onto the floor. So a fabric is ideal, okay? All right, so there's my stopper bead. Right, now, if you go to the next shot out, please, Christopher.
Oh, thank goodness. I was finding that very stressful.
Everyone was holding their breath. All right, so I'm going to show you now how to do the little flower bead, all right? Like this one here. Let me just stick it on my finger so we can reference it, okay? So what this has got is it's got a number of single coloured beads around the edge. Then I've done the equivalent of what I've called a leaf. Okay, so if we're thinking of this as being a daisy, it's got a centre, it's got some petals.
I think you've got to show people that on the close.
All right, go on
Gillian.
Then. Okay.
I hate to say it.
Okay, well, if we're going close, let me put the other one on as well. Let me put a couple on. Hang on, let me put that one on that finger as well. All right, okay, I'm ready. Okay, all right, here we go. So if we're thinking about this being the centre of the daisy, there's my daisy centre. Then these are my petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then on this one, I've done leaves. That's a green leaf, and that's a green leaf. Then obviously I've done the rest of the beads on this one colour, and then on the other, on this ring here, I've done alternating colours. So it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to show you how to do this little daisy here. Okay, so here's one I prepared earlier as well. So you can see it's just got one in the middle, and then it's got 6 round sides. Now you can do this in a number of different ways. You can do a 7-petaled daisy, okay? I've experimented quite a few different techniques, and I've decided that this is the best way to do it because I think it looks more even when you've finished, and I'll explain why as I show you how to do it, okay? But essentially this has got 6 petals and it's got 1 sitting in the center. All right, okay. So let's just come away from that uber close up. So I've got my little stopper bead here, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thread on some of my beads that I'm just going to have either side of the daisy. All right, so let's just have a yellow one as my sort of leaf petal, if you like. Okay, so now to actually make the daisy, first of all, I'm going to make a green daisy and I'm going to give it a pink centre. Let's go with that for now. There's my pink centre, and these are going to be my petal colours. All right, so I'm going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. So you might think you do 3 and 3, but you actually don't. You start off with 4 petals, all right? And then I'm going to put in my daisy centre. Actually, that is a poxy small bead. Let's use a yellow one for the centre, because it's more or less the same colour. Come here, little yellow beady. There we go. All right. So I've got 4 petals and I've got a yellow centre. Okay. Right, I'm going to pull those down. So they're sitting like that. Okay. Now then, this is a bit weird. Okay, so this is where you need to pay attention, folks. What you're going to do then is you're going to take your elastic back through the bottom bead in the wrong direction. So it's almost like you're going back in the direction you started in. So you're just going to thread through this bottom bead, okay, back in the original direction. All right, so bear with me while I do actually pull that through. You might see a load of fingers and thumbs now while that happens. Okay, all right. And then I'm just going to pull that taut. And then what I want to show you here now is the beginning of our daisy, all right? So we've got 3 of the petals here. We've got 1 there, which is a bit random, and then we've got the centre here, all right? And now we've gone down here, so our elastic's actually pointing that way. So now I'm just going to take another 2 petals. So to end up with this 3 and 3, we're actually doing 4 and 2. So we're doing 2, 4, then a centre, then 2. All right. So now I've got 2 on there, okay, and then I'm going to go back through the 4th original petal. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here through the 4th original petal, and you'll see now that turns into a daisy.
That's magic.
All right, it is magic, isn't it? So just to recap, I did 4 and a centre, and then I went down, and then I did 2, and then I went up. All right, and there's my daisy. Now I'm just going to slide that down. Now the beauty of using the beading elastic as opposed to something more rigid is it's just going to allows you to sort of slide things back and forth. Well, I guess if you were using anything it would. Now the other thing that I've discovered is quite good now, which I want to share with you as a top tip alert, is to now go back through these green beads in a 3 and then a 3, because I think they want to sit in a 4 and a 2 because that's how you've beaded them. Now the beauty of this lovely needle is that it bends, so you can kind of bend it, hold it further down and bend it round into the shape that you are beading, which is quite handy because if it was rigid, I think it would be more difficult to do that. So I'm going to go through those, get out the way. There we go. I'm going to go through those 3 first, yeah? And I can't believe I'm doing this, it's so fiddly. Okay, up like that. And then, just to make it lie flatter, when I finished it, I'm going to go through the other 3. I have a feeling I've missed one out. Wait, it's so fiddly trying to do that. You see, the trouble is I'm not sitting directly over it because I've got the camera shot to think about. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to pull those 3 like that. Ooh, like that. All right. So there is my little daisy. So that is how I've decided is the best way to do them. it's a 4 and a 2 and then a 3 and a 3. But there are other ways of doing this. And then I'm just going to take another little yellow bead. Bear with me a sec. There we go. Oh, more fingers and thumbs now. I'm trying to hold it so you can see it. Right. I'm just going to take another little yellow bead like that. And there are
Just lift it up a little bit higher.
Lift it up a little bit higher. Oh!
No.
Little bit lower.
Away from you.
I was a bit confused what you meant then. All right, so those are my leaves either side. I mean, I know they're not green leaves, are they? So little flower centre and then 3 either side. So now I've shown you how to do that. Let me now go back to this one and you can see. So what I've done here is I've done a daisy, and then I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow, a daisy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green, a daisy, 1, 2, 3, 5 yellow. What I've done here is I've done my little daisy. I've actually left the stopper bead on this one because I quite like it at the back. Also, I think, you know, when it's at the back, it's fine, isn't it? It's just going to sit on the back of your finger. So I left it there with its, you can see, with its beading elastic around it. But obviously you could remove that if you wanted to. If you're a perfectionist and you wouldn't like that to be in there. What did I do with this one? I don't even remember. I removed it on this one. There you go. So this one, look, that's got proper leaves and everything. It's got green leaves, and then it's got a pink, pretty pink centre. It's got the blue petals, and then it's got, let me just model that for you, shall I? Ooh, there we go. Look, it's, oh, there we go. There we are. Very pretty. Right, so moving on from that, if you wanted to, let's just get that out of the way. You could obviously add them in the middle of your other beading. So say you're making this lovely bracelet, which I'm going to show you how to do in a second. I've added in a daisy just here, look. And then on the anklet, have I added in a daisy? No, I haven't. But on the necklace I have. Look, I've added in a little one there on the necklace. So anyway, that's the daisies. Any questions so far, or is everyone still in bed asleep?
Hold on a moment, please. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, why? What do you mean talk amongst yourselves?
Well,
there's only me here.
All right, okay. I haven't read the messages.
Okay.
Is there any messages?
Okay.
No, I don't think there is.
Okay, no problem. All right. So I want to just carry on. Let me just carry on next to this daisy, and I just want to talk to you about adding the beads and adding the hearts and that kind of thing. Now, pretend this. Say this is a bracelet. All right. Let's just move it up here so you can see what I'm doing. So say this is a bracelet and you wanted to add the words, say your name is Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz?
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I've got my letters here ready because my name's Buzz. Can you tell that I was desperately trying to make a word out of letter beads that I'd pulled out of the packet? Buzz it was. Right, so obviously you're just going to be threading these through like this. It's not rocket science. But what I want to point out is, especially when you're doing the necklace, or if you're doing something that you want to be symmetrical, you need to think about coming at it at both sides. So if you had some more beading elastic going this way, you've decided that your daisy is going to sit centrally, and you wanted the word Buzz here, but say you wanted the word happy here. You're going to need to do this in reverse, going this way. So you'd do Y, P, P, A, H, going that way, and B, U, Z, Z, going this way. So you need to think about the direction of your beads. You also need to think about which way round you're holding your beads so you don't get the letters upside down. It's a bit difficult getting your head around it, but let me explain what I mean with the necklace. So when I was doing the necklace, no, not the necklace, sorry, the anklet, I think I was going either side from the cowrie shell. That's right. So I started here. So I was having to think when I beaded these words, which direction I was putting the letters on. So do remember that. Now the other thing to think about are the charms. So obviously you don't want to be wearing your anklet with the back of the charm showing. You want to be wearing it with the front of the charm showing. So when you add your charms, which you can do either as you're going along or at the end, I'm going to show you how to do that now. If you wanted to add a charm after you've finished, so say I wanted to add a charm, I don't know, here, okay. The first thing I would do is I'd get one of my little jump rings, okay. I use a pair of these jewellery pliers, which we do sell, okay. I think they're about £6 or £7, something like that. They're very good because they've got a very fine nose. Actually, I think these are slightly different shape, but they've got a flat nose. So it's much easier to deal with these little tiny bits and bobs. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the close-up again, actually. And I'm just going to show you when Chris tells me it's in focus. Yeah?
Oh, no. Hold on. Stand by.
Stand by, everyone. Whoa, there, yes, yeah. Stop.
Don't move.
I won't move. So I want you to see the little split in the ring. Okay, it's a jump ring. I'm just going to hold it with one side of my pliers and I'm going to open it up. Can you see that? All right, so what we can do then, once we've got it open up, let's just use the watermelon, okay, is I'm just going to pop the, I need to open it a bit more. Am I still in focus? Yeah. I'm just going to pop the watermelon on my jump ring, okay, and then wherever I want to put it, I'm just going to put it on my anklet, actually. Just trying to hold it really still so it doesn't go out of focus. I'm now going to pop it on the anklet as well, all right, but you need to think about which way round
just
the charm is going to lie.
A little bit, Jill. Just go up.
Oh, sorry. You need to think about which way round the charm is going to lie and dangle. All right. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. So if I put it on this way round, okay.
Go up again.
Sorry. Am I moving down without realising it?
Yes.
And then I'm going to just close up my jump ring. Okay. And then I want to show you that it would lie that way. Sorry, I've laid it down on the table, now it's not in focus. That way, okay? So it's hanging off. So of course, if you added this charm without the jump ring, it would sort of sit sideways like that, and you wouldn't see the front of the charm when you're wearing it. So if you think about what's happening here, the jump ring is sitting sideways and it's allowing the charm to sit flat on your skin, okay? So obviously that's what you want to happen when you're doing an anklet or when you're doing a bracelet or something like that. And also obviously when you're doing the necklace. So you see here I've got the cherries, which I think hang at the bottom of my necklace. Hang on, I've got so much in the way now. It feels really messy. I need to have a little tidy up. Hang on. So, why are you laughing?
Oh, I didn't sign up for this.
What do you mean?
This is really hard to focus on.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll stay on this shot for a minute.
Okay.
So you can see that if I've got the cherries hanging at the bottom here, I want them to lie flat against my skin when I'm wearing the necklace. And if I'd just put the cherries charm directly onto my beading elastic, it would have sat like that. And I want it to sit like that. Okay. All right. I hope that's clear. So with all of this stuff here, what I tend to do is I tend to think about the colours and just breaking up the colours. Obviously your seed beads are mostly greens and blues and yellows. So then I break that up with the Katsuki beads, which are mostly pink with a few other colours thrown in here and there. And then some of the kind of pinkier heart-shaped beads, loving these little round beads with the hearts on as well. And you've got a pink one and you've got one with red. And then I do love a bit of black and white thrown in as well. So obviously I've just done my initials on the necklace. Here I've done Happy Days. And then on the bracelet, I've done Love, or if your name is Buzz, obviously you could do your name, whatever, doesn't matter. Now with the anklet, I'm just going to show you something else with the anklet. What I did when I started the anklet was I started from a centre point of the shell, okay, the polka dot shell, all right. And I want to show you this because I bead this differently. So what I do, I've got one here I prepared already. What I do is I get two, and it's all in the instructions of how to do this, but I get 2 lengths of elastic, okay, and one at a time I put them through the shell, okay, and I use the shell as a kind of centre point, and then I loop the elastic through like that and pull it tight so that you end up with a knot on each side of the cowrie shell, okay. So I pull that tight, and this elastic's great. If you just pull it gently, it will tighten, okay. Don't pull it too much, otherwise you will split it, okay, or it will break. But you know, there's a certain amount of give in there, so that's great. And then I will then tie another knot, actually, just to keep that really tight. Now, you know how I like to talk about a certain glue that I like to use for these things. And I have indeed got my trusted Gem Tack here.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Gem Tack for all your sticky needs.
There we go, for all your sticky needs. I just want to show you how I would then just literally blob the tiniest wee blob, okay, on there. And I would do that on both sides. It's probably a little bit too much, but just a little blob, okay, on both sides of that. All right, and then once that's dry, once you've done both sides, then you bead with 2 pieces of the elastic, okay. So I would then put both of these pieces of elastic through my beading needle. Talking about the beading needle just for a second, actually, it's very easy to thread because it's got such a huge eye, but if you are struggling, I recommend using the embroidery threader, which I did use once when I couldn't see what I was doing, but it's easy to get even two pieces through it, okay. So you're beading now with 2 pieces of elastic, okay. So once you've got that joined onto your cowrie shell, I don't know, let's just go with a little green bead on one side. Oh, she says, flicking it into the air. Let's go with a little green bead on that side there. Okay, so you might want to put a few smaller beads, as I've done here with the finished anklet, either side of the cowrie shell, okay. And then you might want to think about mixing it up, like I said. So just break up the seed beads with the other beads that I've put into the kit, just so that it looks really pretty and it gives you different sorts of interest. Now with the pom-poms and the tassels, hang on, let me just add another couple of these beads and then I'll talk you through the pom-poms and the tassels. You've got the option of either using another jump ring for the pom-poms and the tassels. I think last year when I was doing this, I wasn't even using a beading needle. I was just using the end of the elastic and poking it through in a very, very kind of, what's the word? Inexperienced is the word, fashion. But now I've got my beading needle, naive. But now I've got my beading needle, I love it. So I wouldn't go back, I don't think. So with the tassels, they do, and the pom-poms, they do all come with a little ring on them already. So actually, there's no real need to use a jump ring. Okay, so you can
show us that on the
oh yes,
on the
tight shot.
Once
Okay, I'm ready, my love, when you are. There we go. Okay, so you can see there's a little jump ring on the tassel, okay? So you can just thread it straight on, or if you want to, you can use a jump ring as well. So here's one that I've added on a jump ring, all right? So the choice is yours. If you're using the jump ring, it's good to put it between these heart beads. I would just add that it does kind of slip over the top of the smaller beads because it's quite a big jump ring. So you probably want to sandwich it. So it's good to sandwich it maybe in between the katsuki beads or maybe between the larger beads, okay? But that's for the charms. But if you don't want to use a jump ring for the tassels and indeed the pom-poms, let me just add a few more of these Toho beads on. And these Toho beads are great quality Okay, they're lovely glass beads, and they don't lose their colour. All right, so the ones that come in the tube are the Tohos, and you get a fair number of those. I think it's 4 grams you get in each of these. Okay, what was I going to say? Oh, let's now add a little pom-pom, shall we? So again, the pom-pom comes with a little loop already in it, so you don't need to use another jump ring if you don't want to. You can just thread that straight on. And that's it.
Do the pom-poms slip over the Tohos?
No, I don't think they do actually.
No.
Not the Tohos, no.
Not the Tohos?
Not the Tohos. I think they might slip over. These pink ones are not Toho beads.
Not
they're,
Tohos?
No.
No.
And they're a little bit smaller, okay? They're a smaller bead, but it just mixes it up a little bit and it just adds a little bit of different, and it's quite nice to have one in the centre of a daisy, I think, actually. Now, are there any questions? So just to carry on with this, with the anklet, so you would do exactly the same thing. You'd double a piece of elastic, you'd thread it through. This is an actual shell, so it's got an actual hole. I hope you can see through the middle of it.
You'd have to put that on the tight shot.
Go on then, put it on the tight shot. Can you see? There we go. There's my finger underneath it. It's an actual hole through the middle. It's obviously been overprinted with polka dots. All right.
Goodness, I wonder how they did that.
Yeah, I know. Maybe with a transfer of some sort, perhaps.
Somebody with a felt tip pen.
So you would do exactly the same thing with the other side. You would do a loop, okay, and push it through its loop, and then thread through the other side. Now, finishing off, okay. So pretend that I have finished this bracelet or this ring or whatever you want to call it, and I want to tie it together, okay. All I'm doing, you can remove your stopper bead if you want to, or you can leave it there, it's up to you. All I'm doing is tying like a treble knot, okay. Now when you're doing the ring, it's good to tie it around something, so you can tie it around your finger, you can tie it around a pen or something like that, because you want to get it to the point where it's just about closed up, all right. And then once you've tied the knot several times, let me try and find the knot. There, okay.
Oops.
There we go. So once you've tied your little knot, okay, I would put a tiny little blob of gem tack on it and then leave it to dry, okay, and then just trim the ends as short as you can trim them. And then, to be honest, they sort of get swallowed up by the bead and you don't really notice them, okay, once you've finished it. So the same with the anklet, the same, where's my bracelet? Let me see if I can find the knot. So you can't even see the knot. Where's the knot? Where are you, knot? Is that the knot? Ah, yes, I think it is here, look. Look, I've hidden it with a tassel. Can you see that?
Clever.
Not quite in focus.
Oh, sorry. That's because you keep moving.
There we go. Okay. So you can see I've just done a little knot there. That's then got gem tack on it. Then there's a little tassel. So once you've actually got that on and you're wearing it, you're sorted. Now, come back to me a sec, sweetie, please. Thank you. So I know a lot of beaders will use probably special wires maybe, or cords to bead onto, but doing it this way, you don't need to have a closure, okay? Because I wanted to make this fun and I wanted to make it easy and speedy and quick and not too fiddly, okay? You just want like an end result without too much hassle. So obviously having the elastic allows you to put them on and take them off really easily, and you don't need any closures, all right? So what I've done is, in the instructions you get in the kit, I've done the optimum lengths of how long they should be before you tie them together, type of optimum lengths, okay? So I have recommended, for me anyway, I don't know if I've got a small neck. I think I might have quite a narrow neck. I think I've gone for 39 to 40 centimetres long when I was beading it long, finished, okay, before I tied it together for the necklace. But I was working on double the length of the elastic. I must stress that, because if you end up with hardly any ends at each end when you're trying to tie it together, it's going to be a nightmare to tie together. All right, so do make sure you've got enough length of elastic. So yeah, about 39 to 40 centimeters. But what I recommend you do is get a necklace that you like the length of, take it off and measure it and work towards that, okay? And then because it's stretchy, you can literally just put it over your head and put it on, okay? I'm just going to tell you, the bracelet, I ended up with my bracelet being 18 to 19. So this one and the other one, which has now gone out of my vision. Here we go. 18 to 19 centimetres I did for a bracelet. Ladies' wrists, I don't know if you're making one for your big hairy husband, you may need to make it a little bit bigger. Although
I have wrists of lady.
Yes, Chris has wrists of lady apparently. Who was it that told you that? Was it a watch salesman somewhere?
It was a watchman changing a band on a watch for me, who said I had wrists of lady.
Wrists of lady. Okay, and then I'm presuming you weren't in Wales when that happened.
No.
And then the anklet, I have started with two 40 centimetre pieces of elastic either side of the shell. And then I think I ended up with it 24 centimetres long. But again, if you've got an anklet, measure it. Or indeed, measure your ankle. Pop the tape measure around your ankle, decide how long you want it to end up, go for that. Okay, make it exactly that length, or maybe a bead over. And that's when you would tie it together. So I'm sensing a distinct lack of questions this morning.
Yes.
Is there any reason for that?
I think
everyone is asleep.
Karen Smudger Smith has just said hello, Jilly.
Hey, Karen.
I think they probably
Karen Smith, no anchovies.
She's probably just scared.
There we go. I'm going to
off.
model the necklace. All right. So you see, I just popped it over my head then. There's my necklace. Okay. Let me put my other bracelet on. I'm going to adorn myself now in my jewels. So there are a lot of these necklaces, bracelets around, particularly bracelets. I did notice some in Anthro at great expense. And I think, well, you know, you can make up your own word or phrase with all the letters. Not only that, but you could probably make about 10 for the same money. So once you've got the kit, like I said, there's loads in there. I'm not going to model the ankle thing, the anklet.
No?
I think my ankle, yeah,
No?
like you don't need to see my hairy ankle.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
True.
I've now got 2 watermelon charms on here. I'm going to have to remove one of those.
Oh.
It's not allowed.
Okay.
Oh, let me model the ring as well. So I'm very pleased with all of this. I think it's fun. Now, in terms of longevity, like I said before, I know I always just wear things and wear things and wear things. I probably would take the ring off if I'm honest. I wouldn't recommend wearing the cowrie shell in the bath and in lots of water because the black spots will come off eventually if you do keep wearing it in water, okay?
I think the shell will be all right.
You have been warned. The shell will be fine. I think the shell's quite used to water. But I think the rest of it is all pretty waterproof, to be honest. And regarding the beading elastic, it's much improved from last year. They seem to have changed the way it's made. And it's got quite a lot of stretch to it, okay? I haven't really noticed it stretching out of shape, but obviously you can't keep pulling it ad infinitum. Eventually it would break, but I think it's pretty good, okay? Any questions?
No.
Si necesita subtítulos en español, espera hasta que el video esté en YouTube y luego puede activarlos. ¿Eh? Claro que sí. Claro que sí. Amigos, I know. It's
They're
impressive,
probably
right?
all laughing at you across the
I probably
Spanish
said
countries.
my hairy ankles are
full of eels.
full of eels and my breakfast bowl needs some marmalade. Anyway, I hope I haven't said that. Anyway, now, look, the thing is, it's Easter weekend next weekend, and I sort of got all kind of, I was thinking about when we'd gone into lockdown last year, and I remember, I think it was Easter Monday, I can't remember exactly. I remember thinking, oh, that's when we'd done the spring wreath, and we'd filmed it in the garden last year, and it was a beautiful day in the garden. And I got all sentimental and thought, oh, should we do an Easter Monday? And I thought, actually, no, because I don't know about where you are in the world, but certainly here in the UK, tomorrow you're allowed to meet in groups of 6 outside. So I'm imagining Easter weekend, literally little groups of 6 people dotted everywhere as far as the eye can see, all over the countryside outside, regardless of the weather. That's what I'm imagining. So I'm thinking no one's going to be inside watching tutorials. We need to get that out of our system. We need to all go and sit in groups of 6 outside. And actually on Easter Sunday, next Sunday, it's my daughter's birthday, actually on that day. And I am going to be going and sitting in a group of 6 with her outside.
Can I come?
Yes, you can come. So therefore, my next tutorial will be the following Sunday, which is Sunday the 10th of April. No, the 11th of April. Sunday the 11th of April. And I'm going to be showing you how I made my patchwork blanket that sits on my sofa at home from the Stonewashed River Washed Schepjes box that we
Sorry,
sell.
whose?
Look, I was going to say Sheppies, because that's what we say here when we're talking in the shop. That's what British people say, but actually you pronounce it Schepjes. All right, if you're Dutch, because it's Dutch. And I'm holding it forward because there's probably a terrible reflection. So this is one of our best sellers. It's the most delightful box of mini balls of yarn, okay? As you can see, they come in all the colours of the rainbow. It's incredibly inspirational, I think. It's really nice to knit with. I knitted every single one into a square, and then I attached them together using, I can't remember, I think I crocheted them together, and I did a crochet scalloped edge. And then I got another box and I made little crochet flowers and I stitched them on. I know, you know, it's not easy being me. Anyway, you don't have to do all that. The project is on my blog at the foot of our homepage of the website if you want to look at it, okay, and see what I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to bring the blanket in, obviously I haven't got it today, but I just wanted to give you forewarning if you wanted to join in with this and get yourself one of these packs. We've got a fair number in stock as I speak, okay, and they are really, really so nice. It's actually so nice. I do know someone who shall remain nameless who has just hung this on their wall as a piece of art and not actually knitted it because they just like looking at it, and I get that because it's so nice to look at. Anyway, so that's going to be Sunday the 10th of April. Knitting needles at the ready. I use a 3.25mm needle, okay. All the details about exactly how I made it are on my blog, all right. So I will do a posting of that maybe tomorrow on social media, so you can go and have a look, but it's already sitting there if you want to see it. So that's coming up, but in the meantime, if there are definitely no questions at all because everyone's still asleep, I hope you enjoy watching this on catch up and I hope you have a lovely...
Hey, I made you a new sound clip earlier.
Oh gosh, yes, I've completely forgotten something. Well done. I'm so glad you're here, Christopher. The thing I've completely forgotten is
This is March Madness!
There's March Madness.
10% off everything!
There's... I was going to say it first, but basically we are doing a special offer at the moment. There's 10% off everything except courses and workshops, but we're not running courses and workshops because you can't, it does irrelevant. So there's 10% off everything on our website, okay, until the end of March, which I think is Wednesday, with the code Easter10. Doesn't matter where you live in the world, you can use that code Easter10. If you're watching this, what was that for?
Spring.
Oh, Easter 10, okay. If you're watching this after Wednesday, bad luck. But, you know, I do these offers every now and again, so follow me on social. No, but sign up to our newsletter and you'll find out when I do another one.
See, I think we've suddenly got... I'm noticing the people who didn't...
Who've woken up.
Who didn't put their clock forward.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of people just joining.
Oh, are there? Oh, bugger. Excuse my language.
Oh, Gillian.
Sorry, is that rude?
Gillian.
yeah, so Easter 10 gets you 10% off, but I do need to just quickly add in, not in conjunction with any other offer, like that man says really fast when you're watching daytime TV, not in conjunction with any other offer. So you can't use it with any other code, and you can't use it with any other offer, and unfortunately you don't collect fluff money, which is our reward scheme, if you use a code, just so you know. But you know, my new yarn that I've just dyed, oh my God, it's so nice. It's called Boogie Wonderland, okay. I'm going to be launching that tomorrow. We don't have a huge amount of it, but we're going to do more. Anyway, you know, if you're going to get 10% off if you buy that tomorrow, code Easter10, okay. But there's so many goodies. You can get 10% off the Speedy Beady Beading Kit that you're now going to have to watch on catch up because you didn't wake up in time. So Easter 10, valid till the end of March. Thank you for reminding me, Christopher. What was I saying before that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Anyway, look, have a lovely rest of weekend. I'm going to have a lovely rest of birthday Boxing Day. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. Stay safe, stay well, and see you soon. Cheery, bye.
It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag Fluff-a-torium. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag Fluff-a-torium. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag Fluff-a-torium. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag. It's Gilliangladrag Fluff-a-torium.